quiet on set again.
Can't stop, won't stop.
Welcome to the final showcase of Tony Urbanic's How to Build a Paul Rogers Prefab Style Tattoo Machine. It was an amazing 7 weeks where for between an hour and a half and 2 hours, or hour and 45 minutes each week, he showed us how to take pretty much the raw materials and use all the hand tools to build a tattoo machine. So this is a showcase, so this should be beaming out throughout the Facebooks and the YouTubes. You definitely want to catch up with us on the Reinventing the Tattoo community app so that you can join in. If you have any questions about your coil tattoo machines, then you can zoom in. So either of the app stores, download Reinventing the Tattoo app, or go to community.reinventingthetattoo.com, and there you will, again, go to the events listing and you will see the links. We can't just put it out everywhere because then the spammers get a hold of it. And if you are on Facebooks or any random YouTube channel, really what you want to go to is the Reinventing the Tattoo YouTube channel. And Tony will tell you all about his direct contact info. We're very excited because, like I said, we got to watch him build it, so it's going to be fun. There's some people that are already in the Zoom waiting room, so thank you for being quiet while the people are asking questions, but feel free, again, this is going to be a Q&A, and we want to make sure that Tony can answer your questions if you have them. So if this is working for you, please let us know in the chat rooms, and I'm going to play a 1-minute teaser for the Spring Equinox virtual festival. If you are an artist, you are invited to have an art party and join us. Android Jones, I don't need to tell you about it. I'm just going to show you the video, and then when we come back, we'll be beaming in with Tony and anybody else who's down. Okay, thank you very much. Okay, that is going to be an amazing time. Again, reinventingthetattoo.com/equinox, and it's going to be live March 20th, but the replay will be up for, well, for as long as the internets are up, I guess. Okay, I am going to put myself into the background here. Let's see, we're going to gallery mode. I'm going to stop my video, and I will be here to read off comments from the any of the chat rooms that people might be on, and maybe do some facilitating. Tony, take it away. Thanks again, man. This is amazing.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back. We finished up our Rogers build last week. We tuned it, we ran it. We had a few people build alongside virtual. And today we're just going to talk about machines. We're going to showcase what we built. And we're going to be bringing people in from the outside. If they have any questions, wants to show off stuff, just kind of just like an overview and a little jam session on what we did. So, hey, Gabe, I can't see who's in with us. So I don't know.
Well, we've got a couple people. I suppose if anybody wants to just pipe in, there we go. We've got Nicholas. You could just click on your cameras, click on your mics.
You know what? Let me switch. I'm going to switch to my computer because I'm using my phone on here.
Cool.
Yeah.
Hey, Nicholas, while he's doing that, you want to introduce yourself and let us know where you're beaming in from? And
my name is Nicholas. I've been tattooing for 6 years from Westfield, Massachusetts. I work out in Northampton, Mass at Bang Bang Body Arts. I've been there for about 2 years now. And yeah, I'm out here to grow, man. Try to be the best that I can be at this.
Right on.
Awesome. Yeah, it's fun. Yeah, we're neighbors. I think we might have been chatting earlier.
Yeah, we were. Yep, definitely,
Awesome.
Gabe.
Very cool. And then let's see, Robert, we've got your audio here. I don't know if we can click on your camera, but it was pretty awesome. I think you're the person we're going to showcase the machine. I've got some of your pictures fired up.
Great. Yeah, I have a running machine. So I had a really nice time building it. So
Awesome. Any chance you could turn on your camera?
yeah, I'll try.
Awesome.
Hey, there he is.
Yeah.
This guy, by the way, you got to check out his Instagram page. He's a sick skater, man. Sick.
Yeah, cool.
Nice.
Yeah, let me see it. Yeah, dude.
Solid.
Yeah, I don't know. So yeah, that's the machine we built in the course. I don't know if y'all, I guess if this is to the public, you really didn't see the one I did. Let me bring it up here. It's basically the same thing Robert did. We worked along together and put these together from raw materials using basic hand tools, pretty much.
Yeah.
We started from scratch, just raw pieces of flat steel through 3/16" bar, 1/4 inch bar, some collet tubing. I actually used just brake tubing in my collet, some screws, some 5/16 rod, 3/8 inch bar. I mean, we made everything on here. Contact screw. The only thing we didn't make are the like the nuts and bolts. Binding posts we drilled and tapped, but I used the stock 1/4
Oh
inch.
shit! Sorry, I'm showing the wrong thing here. Okay, sorry
That's
about
all
that.
right. It's the same thing, just a different person. So
Nah, I was just showing the wrong camera completely.
nice. But yeah, that's what we did in our course, and in the end, we tuned it. We talked, I interjected stories. We talked about each piece and component. We went into some pretty fine details about some stuff.
I got some video here that I could be playing too. Here, let me. You guys checking this out here?
Yep.
So if you want to change that on your printout to a number 29,
Hey,
let's see
making
here.
holes, looking at
it
ceilings.
was in the back of.
Uh,
That's
you
my
get caught
dungeon,
up.
dude. Look at that.
Again, Reinventing's offering these videos.
Was
it's
this
amazing
live?
watching you go through this.
We could nose that up. We can make this hole bigger. So you have options with these. You could thin this out if you wanted. You could put a twist on
That's
it.
a squiggly line. Oh
See what
boy.
I'm getting at? You could take all this material out.
Ooh.
Have
Whoa.
Ooh. I like it. It's a little more refined when you go by the plans.
So Robert, what was the funnest part of the experience?
It was building it with basic tools, and I was really surprised that I built it so accurately. It's all straight.
Yeah.
No milling or anything, just hand cutting and sanding with files. Yeah, it's a lot of work, but it's so satisfying when it's finished. It's really, really, really satisfying when you really build something with your own hands. Yeah, it's great.
Was that the first time you built from scratch?
From scratch. Yeah.
It turned
First
out really
time.
well.
Yeah. I'm really surprised.
That being said, what is your next project? Do you have another video lined up?
Yeah, this is a shader or color packer. So next time I'll build probably the same, but the liner.
Right.
So I have a pair. And I have to build one for my tattoo friend.
How it starts.
Yeah. So I'll just make the parts and he will assemble it. So
Yeah.
we'll assemble it together. So yeah. I'm looking forward to.
Right on. Are you working on anything else right now? Or you just you're gonna start another one?
Yeah, I have a couple lined up with pre-made bases or something.
Yeah.
So yeah, I have a couple of machines working on right now.
Cool.
So yeah.
Yeah,
We do have a couple. We had a couple more people join us. Feel free to unmute yourself and or unvideo yourself, revideo yourself, video yourself.
we got
Click the buttons. Join the conversation.
Eric, Nicholas. I don't know.
Robert, do you want to run your machine? Can we get to hear it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome.
If you might have to, I guess this is where we probably should have made sure that anybody doing the sound cancels your Zoom audio dampening, but we'll just do our best. Bear with us, everyone.
I don't hear it too bad on my end. We're pretty good. There we go.
Do you hear something?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is dampening it out a little bit. Are you on a computer?
Yeah, I'm on computer.
If you look in the upper left-hand corner of your Zoom, there should be an option that says "Turn on original sound."
Put this suckers on.
And if anybody else has their machines handy they want Tony to listen to, well, for one, it would be awesome if you could turn on original sound so that Zoom doesn't dampen out the noise because it thinks that the tattoo machine is noise. And but yeah, get them ready. It would be fun. And or any other questions.
Yeah, it's hard to hear the machines, how they're running through the little microphones. That's the only bad thing. But it's cool to see them run, period. Hi, everyone. Yeah, I can't hear anything.
Actually, Robert, you muted your mic. You're muted.
Okay.
There we go.
I'm going to set you guys back here.
So let's see. So Marco in the chat room says, the first time I'm here and I'm liking it. I'm building a mill from scratch and scrap and can't wait to show you guys some of my prototypes.
Awesome.
Yeah. I've got like 10 to show, says, again, Marco Antonio Meje Medina. Yeah, where are you beaming in from, Marco?
Vaguely hearing something.
Yeah, it's dampening it right out, unfortunately.
That's okay.
Yeah.
There you go. Ah. Yeah, it's hard to hear them through the computer.
Yeah.
It turned out great though, man. I don't have a power unit down here, so I can't really run anything.
Cool. So Nick, Matt, Eric, anybody have any particular questions? And in the meantime, well, yeah, I guess we'll just open up the floor, just pop right in. And if we get 5 minutes or 10 or 5 seconds of silence, then we'll make Tony be entertaining.
Oh, I can entertain. I'll just start building another machine. Let's get back to it. I'm sitting here. I have so much stuff around me too. I'm like, man, I have a Rogers I'm working on from scratch, and the Vice right now. I just started actually before we started the video. I was TIG welding this one, Robert. I don't know if you could see the joint underneath.
Yeah.
Yeah, I TIGged it together. 3-piece. This is actually one of the base plates like we used that I had.
Drop it down just a little bit for focus. There you go.
Yeah, that's one of the base plates I used. I already cut out. And then I hand cut this side plate. You hand cut this side plate on the bandsaw. I have a bandsaw on the other side of the room here. I just put a new blade in it. So I've been cutting some new stuff. And yeah, like I said, I TIG welded together. So it looks kind of dirty right now. They're not as clean when you weld them up. I don't know if you're welding or brazing, but they look pretty ugly at first. But when Gabe was running the video, I already started grinding this down. I use a Makita hand grinder, which is different than the way I taught you guys, because I mean, we just used files and hacksaws, and the main thing we used was a drill press. But when I do my regular builds, I don't do it that way.
Nice. So Melissa Smith says those machine sounds are like ASMR for ink addicts.
Right.
And I do have I have a video here of Rob's machine, a little QuickTime here.
Oh, cool. Yeah, that's the one I saw.
This has got the sound going.
Like a meat hammer.
Yeah.
That'll put it in. Those coils are ripping, man.
Yeah.
And that was just the raw 5/16 regular 1018 steel
Yeah.
that you used.
I just found it in the garage, so.
That's all. See, that's it. Yeah, that was the whole purpose of this, is to just use what you had laying around. Kind of think outside of the box.
I didn't buy anything.
No, cool. Even better.
Yeah. Everything I just found in the garage, so.
That's awesome. Repurpose.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have stuff laying all over my workshop. I figured today we could do a little tour of it. I was going to do it the first video, the first teaser video, like a little tour of my workshop. It's just a total dungeon wreck, and there's just stuff everywhere. So I'll do that in a little bit. I'll show you guys around. But
So real quick here, Marco is saying, well, he's asking how often you guys are on. So we're doing free ones like this, maybe once a month, maybe twice a month. This month, because next Wednesday you're interviewing Greg from Veritas Irons.
that's correct. Yeah, Greg DiGiacinto at Veritas Manufacturing. He's a good friend of mine from way back. We swap tips and techniques together. He has a different style than me. He's really polished and refined. He does a lot of mill work and a lot of CAD. He's not heavy CAD. He's still raw in the sense where he does everything hands on himself. He doesn't get everything cut by CAD, but he cuts all of his own stuff on lathes and on the mill. So I think it'll be exciting to have him on and pick his brain. So I always learn something from him, and he's just full of so much energy too. I just love the guy to death. So I think he'll be a great person to bring on and have people talk to, like general public. I'm excited for that. So that is Wednesday the 17th of this month. And
Wednesday the 17th. That'll be up in the schedule. It might be in the schedule now, but it's going to be in the schedule by the end of the day, if it isn't.
Yeah, and I guess the format will be every month we'll bring somebody in, but we'll open it to the public to have discussion, like open forum discussion.
I'm going to show off a couple of the other videos that we actually have, because Tony's been gracious enough to host a couple. And so this is the Reinventing the Tattoo Community. And if you go to the library and then check out the video section, and it's Reinventing the Tattoo Podcast is where we have some of these interviews that we have. So this is where, building a tattoo machine with Tony. This is actually, we could do some Inception kind of shit if I if I click here, I'm not going to do it though, because then we'd be watching a video of us watching a video of us watching a video. Point being is down here, we have how to build a Paul Ryder style prefab. This is like an hour where Tony talks about what he's going to do for this 7-8 week webinar, which is pretty cool. It'd be fun to watch that again to see how it played out. And then we have the Tattoo Machine Madness. This is the Machine Builders panel. And if you're interested in the panel here, yeah, we've got a full on.
Yeah, that's the one we did with Guy and Greg.
Wow.
Yeah,
Carson got
Okay.
on.
We are now live, and thank you very much.
So
for
Marco,
your
if you want to join the video
tried
chat,
to-
if
I
you
didn't
go
know- It
to,
was just I'm all self-taught.
if you get in this
And,
app, and then you go to events, you will see we've got join free webinar. Boom, and then you could zoom right in, and then. But when you do that, you want to make sure that you mute or cancel out of the video that you're playing, because otherwise then we get into audio panic, video panic, or echo panic.
Echo panic.
Echo panic, echo panic, echo panic.
Echo.
So yeah, so I guess hopefully that answers. If you're interested in some more of this, then there's some sections there. And again, Tony will be doing it the third Wednesday of the month, and yeah, we're excited.
This is my mess. This is where we spent 8 weeks right here on this puppy. Yeah.
So Tony, what are you going to do next? What are your thoughts? And are you going to do another course so that after people have taken the base one here and know how to do it by hand, you could show them some best practices with modern tools?
Yeah, I mean, we could get into that too. We could do a shorter series with modern tools. We could do different style machines. I build a lot of, well, my whole genre, the way I build is, I call it crusty and old. I fabricate machines to replicate the old masters, specific masters that I enjoy personally. There's other guys who do it too. Yeah, there's some good builders out there can replicate older machines, but I like to build from just pretty much junk that I have laying around, like more of a steampunk style. So it'd be cool to show people how to do it with modern tools and do different style machines like a Zeiss, or do a steampunk from scratch to give people ideas to expand their mind and have different options to build in different styles. The more tools you have in your arsenal, the broader language you have for expression, in my opinion. And once you start with one, that's in your vocabulary, how to use the basic tools in your vocabulary. You can incorporate these movements into your next piece, your next build. It's the same with tattooing. And once you learn a bit of information, you carry that on, and hopefully you progress throughout your career. In this aspect, we start with the basics, but yeah, I would like to continue on. I do have like a Zeiss machine that I built for Skyverse fire relief a few years back that I've done about 200 of. So I have like a template already set in the same style as the J frames. I have 6 J frames also that I do in Paul's style. And then there's the bendies, I call them the 3-piece. I just happen to have one sitting on my bench. This was built in 20 minutes from just crap I had laying around from previous builds and some just flat bar. I mean, it is not the prettiest thing, but it'll give you an idea. Yeah, it's not lined up or anything. I'll see you later. Let me just fake it in. Well, that was cool. But yeah, I build things to look old, and I can teach people how to achieve these results very easily. I'm talking with a guy in Italy right now. He was a little perplexed on how these new machines look so old. Just for example, this machine was built last week. And you would think it's been laying under someone's car for like 5 years. It's just gnarly. And that's the look I go for. It's a specific style. And you can see the parts are utilized from just things I found in flea markets, garage sales, stuff I've had laying around the house, different tapes, different metals. But you know, for a builder budget, like a quick budget, you could build a really cool piece of art, and that's what I go for. Yeah, I could CNC and whatever, but this is about creating the art. So getting back to it, yeah, Gabe, I'd like to expand and continue on and teach.
Cool. Hey, let me run another clip here. This is, I believe, from the third webinar, and we could check it out a little bit, and then maybe talk about it a little.
16 holes with these 8/32 screws. So when you get into final locking this down to drill it or mark it or weld it, watching yourself, you will have some room to just manipulate forward, backwards, side. Not much, not really much, but just enough. All right, so now we're in the full-on jig mode. Spring shelves on, base plates on, geometry is set. Bada boom.
It was so awesome to watch this come together. I gotta say. Yeah.
I'm glad.
But yeah, you know,
I enjoyed it.
Watching yourself on video is never a good thing, and so it's also thank you everybody who is beaming in and getting on camera. You know, one of my I don't know if he still feels this way, but one of my favorite memories is Jeff Gogwe saying something to the effect of, I don't really mind, watching myself on video, except for, the way I look, the way I sound, and the words that come out of my mouth.
Yeah. That is true. But I will say, when you're in the moment of creation, you don't think about that at all. You think about what you're doing. And to me, I've done it for so long. I've been doing this 20 years that the hardest part for me was explaining the steps. Like, I had to come in every morning and write down where my thoughts would go. Because I don't know about you guys, I'm severely ADHD. I have 100 different things going on in any given moment. And if I don't write a list, I don't know what I'm doing. So building for 20 years, I have it in my head. I have the list built in. So I just do. But you have to keep in mind, you're trying to teach other people. So you need to express these thoughts in an organized, clean manner that they understand. And that's difficult when you're just like, just do it. I just know how to do it. I just do it.
Nice. So Eric just joined. Thanks for beaming in. Do you, if you wanted to unmute yourself and let us know. Can you hear us, Eric?
What's up, dude?
Yeah, I'm at my day job, just tuning in.
That's cool. How you doing today?
I'm good. I'm pretty new to all of this.
Yeah.
I'm apprenticing.
Okay. Do you use
So
coil
brand new.
machines, rotaries?
I haven't used any machines yet.
Oh, you don't use any? So you're
They're brand new.
information. Okay. We were kind of overviewing we did 7 weeks, 8-week course on building a tattoo machine.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
we're just kind of recapping and hearing people's stories and talking about it. Where do you apprentice at?
We're over in Maryland with the Beyond the Pale studio, little tiny one-person studio. Amy Nichols is the artist.
Oh, right.
Oh, awesome. Tony, I thought Amy's the lady who I tagged you, I tagged you with, or you had replied to her post on the community, and she has the Apprentice Diaries, a whole podcast for apprentices, around apprentices.
She just posted something, or she commented on something I posted the other day. Yeah, that's right. I just friended her or something.
Oh, yeah, cool. Eric, do you have any tools or access to tools, or?
A little bit, not a lot.
Cool.
You don't need much. I will tell you, you don't need much. A drill press, a hacksaw, some files, some sandpaper. Yeah.
So, like, worst case scenario, you need to find a friend with a drill press, right? Like, that might be
Yeah,
something.
I have one of those. Yeah.
Oh, well, there we go. It sounds like you're ready to go.
Yeah, Craigslist, you can generally pick them up pretty cheap now, $25-$30 for a little Craftsman. That'll get you by.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
yeah, so I'm just kind of taking it all in.
Awesome. Well, thank you for beaming in and for participating. It's great to to get to meet new people and get to put faces behind some of the messages in the chat rooms and stuff.
Yeah, that's cool to see everybody face to face. Yeah.
So Tony, you want to talk a little bit about your convention too? I mean, while we have people watching, and you have a whole tattoo convention you're running. And
Oh yeah, it's we were supposed to do me and my partner Elizabeth were doing a convention in Akron, Ohio. We have family there, and a lot of really great Ohio artists came behind us and supported it. We were supposed to do it right before COVID, July through August of last year, but the with everything that happened, we had to put it down. Now this year, we talked about it and thought about it. Instead of pushing it forward, July, August is just, I think it's too quick. So we pushed it to July, the end of July in 2022. It's called the Rubber City Tattoo Invitational. Now it's not really an invitational. It's open to artists, but it's limited. So if anybody's interested, you can contact me, or you can go through the Rubber City Tattoo Invitational Instagram or Facebook to contact us for information. We had a lot of great artists lined up. We still do. A lot of people held on. Some people bailed, which is understandable. We were in crisis mode last year. Nobody really knew how this virus thing was going to play out. And we kind of still don't know, but it seems to be opening up and getting a lot better. So looking forward, I'm excited. I will tell you, it's really difficult for me to sit on my hands and wait another year. When we decided to sit tight, I just didn't want to do it, but I'm very geared up for this show. I know Gabe will be there doing seminars on business and promoting.
yeah, I'm wicked psyched.
Hopefully we can get Guy to come out. I don't know about that, but I know Damon Conkin was on board. Mohawk Jesse Yunker, Tim Seitz. Who else do we have lined up? Anthony Massimino. Somebody from New York.
Awesome.
A lot of good things. Yeah, James Vaughn. A couple guys
I'm
from
sure-
Europe were coming out from Italy.
I'm sure Guy will beam in the like the reinventing booth and maybe do like an art jam or a drink and draw or something. And
That'd be awesome. Yeah.
but cool. We had another. Hey Paul. Oh, Paul, you just beamed in, beamed out. We're just there you go. You understand Zoom good. How are you doing? You want to introduce yourself? Let us know how you're involved in the circus.
Are you talking to me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what? I was hoping to stay quiet. I'm actually on my phone at the minute. When I got the email.
Okay.
Fantastic. Well, feel free to pop in the background. I usually just try to force people out to catch up with them and say hi. And, but I definitely don't want to get people in trouble if they're at work or on other calls. But welcome. Thanks for beaming in.
So yeah, we were talking about the next build, like what we were thinking about doing. And I do a lot of these Zeiss copies. And it's kind of like the similar vein of what we just did.
Oh no, on the toilet.
I don't know which direction we might take this next course. I'd like to get some feedback, like maybe get a couple people who request like a certain style of build. Like we could do a steampunk, we could do another J-frame, we could just do something from nothing. Like, take a piece of bracket and braze it together and make a machine out of it. It's a similar process, same but different, but we could go over brazing, welding, TIG, MIG, milling, drilling, geometry. Like the information is just, the amount of information out there and retained is just, it's untapped. So I could talk for days about different things. So just depends on where everybody wants to go with it. I thought the Rogers was a good stable build for a baseline to get like an entry level. It's a little more than entry level But I feel like we went over the mechanics well enough that people could jump start on their own now and just break away and do their thing. But again, there's a lot more that I could go into and help people with, and I enjoy doing that, Gabe. I enjoy teaching people this. It's very fulfilling.
You know, you should work on your comic routines a little bit, but you know, it was fun. So Mackenzie,
What I do.
Mackenzie, do you want to introduce yourself and let us know how you're involved in this, or what interests you about tattoo machine building?
Well, I put together a Seth Safari Build It kit. That's about as much as I've put together a machine, and I've also built jail cell style tattoo machines, homemade out of like motors from tattoo shavers, but from beard shavers and whatever knickknacks I could find from the Salvation Army. I have access to welders and all that stuff. My previous occupation was fabrication, so it's kind of nice to see how you break these little plates of billet down and shape them with band saws and use a drill press to do whatever you have to do.
Yeah, so you have a good feel for, you already have a good feel for what we're doing, it sounds like.
Yeah, except for the coil wraps. I don't know much about capacitors and coil wraps or how they work. I just know it by description when I read about unloaded machines and how they should be tuned and stuff. But tuning is like a whole brand. Like it's like a science that I'm still trying to get down. My apprenticeship was 4 years, but due to politics in the shop, I willfully walked out because I couldn't stand what was happening in there. There's so many haters in this game, but I do like learning.
Right. Well, when you have to surround yourself with good people, in my opinion, if you want to move forward and block out the noise, the background noise. You do you. That's what I always tell people. I get a lot of fellow artists. They'll call me and they'll talk about the drama, and the drama's always been in the business. Not to talk about it, but just block that out and do you, and don't worry about everything else. There was a shop that opened up a block away from me. I've been in Pittsburgh my whole life. I'm 51 years old. I was the first shop to open within the city limits since the 60s. Nobody else would open a tattoo shop in the city. They were afraid. And I was told that I couldn't do it, and I did it. As soon as I did it, everybody started doing it. Shop opened up a block away from me. I called my dad and I'm like, what am I going to do? These people are opening up. And he said, you know what? Don't worry about them. You do what you do. Keep your head down and just, you'll see. And he was right. 6 months later, they were gone. So you continue forward and you do what you got to do.
Sometimes it's not just about that. It's just there aren't very many people that want to share their craft.
Yeah. Well, I grew up in that generation of tattoo artists. Like there was very few. When I started in 89, I went shop to shop, and there was only 3, like in a 30-mile radius here, and they just slammed the door in your face. They weren't willing. And then as the 90s generation came in, it was the same thing. I did see a big change, though, in the late 90s with information, and especially when the internet opened up. There was a lot of criticism about it, but I do agree. I understand people are very tight-lipped. And I'm guilty of that myself. Like I wouldn't share my tricks or tips or secrets with anybody. I got this way by my own hard work to a point. And then I met some individuals who gave back to the industry, and I kind of looked up to them, and they started feeding me information and teaching me the right way to communicate with other artists. Once you're comfortable within yourself and what you do, then feel free to give it back. It's not going to hurt you, and I used to think that like it's going to hurt me or they're going to get better than me. It was like this whole competitive thing, and that is heavy in our industry. But again, it's just once you're just comfortable with yourself and doing what you're doing, you don't worry about it. Yeah. Not to get off key or get off point of what we're talking about, but that's just my experience with it. And if I can share some information or shed some light on my experience, hopefully it'll help you, push forward in a different direction.
Well, I have a best friend who owns a shop here in town, and he's been tattooing for a long, long time. And he apprenticed properly under a guy that studied under Horiyoshi. And my best friend, who I grew up with, told me that I should not be tattooing, and I realized there that he was no longer a friend of mine. So, I mean, that's as how deep the hate gets, in my opinion, in this game. And it's not just talking and communicating with other tattoo artists, it's people that are willing to share information. That's the hardest part. I could talk to all tattooers in San Francisco, but will they share information and help me get better? That's like a crapshoot, you know? There's a lot. I mean, in my opinion, speaking for myself, lots of haters in the tattoo industry. Never met so many haters in one industry. I mean, music industry might be a little different or whatever, but in the tattoo industry, the hate game is so big.
Well, I mean, it's the stakes are pretty high, right? You know,
Yeah.
between the responsibility of marking people for the rest of their life, the experience that they're going to remember, you know, and the dough that's involved with it. Yeah, I mean, there's also a difference, obviously, between, you know, responsibly sharing knowledge and, you know, trying to like keep business for yourself, right? But hey, so I got a chat here from Matt Black. Says, I don't have a video or mic as I'm at my day job, currently an apprentice in East Tennessee, trying to learn all I can about the tools of the craft. My first experience with a machine was making an old National Talon frame run, but that was just rooting through the parts bin and making it look like one that was running. I really appreciate the platform to learn! Exclamation point. Thanks! Exclamation point.
Yeah, reinventing is a great platform. It really opened my eyes, especially the artwork. The art jams are amazing. The bio jams, and the talent. Oh my God! Like, I don't even know why you guys have me on here. Sometimes that's how I feel. Like these are the heavy hitters that are getting down on the daily, but they're so humble and they give back. I mean, that falls back to the conversation we just had.
Well, I'm sure that guy took a fair amount of heat, you know, for reinventing the tattoo right back in the day, right? He's like writing the book on tattooing.
Yeah, I
And,
remember.
you know, it's real easy for people to misconstrue that and whatnot. But hey, so I do want to, I've got another clip here, and we've got about maybe another 10 minutes or 13 minutes. So if anybody has less questions, get them prepared. But in the meantime, I'm going to share another clip. I think this is from 6. This is the intro to webinar 6. So I think you actually talk about what you were doing in the past one.
I love how you embarrass me.
Okay. The button is clicked. You're on.
Hey, good morning, everybody. Welcome to episode number 6 of how to build a Paul Rogers style tattoo machine. Welcome to my basement, my workshop, my home away from home. Last week, we were talking about cutting springs, and where were we moving forward from there? We were talking about cutting springs. What else we talk about? Putting this puppy together and moving
do a
forward
drunk
to finish.
critique of this game.
But before we do that,
We
before
could.
we finish putting this together.
You know, it's a little early for me generally, but
no,
no,
we are building this from scratch, from raw materials, from things we have laying around our shop. We have 2 options here. I'm going to show you guys how to make upper and lower binding posts 2 different ways. One, I use pre-bought 1/4 inch hex 8/32.
it was very fun to every week. It was amazing. Yeah, but
That's so embarrassing.
hey, Ricardo, how goes it?
Pretty good, man. How about you? Sorry, I don't have my headphones with me.
No worries. You're very clear when you do, but this seems to be working.
Cool. All right, joined so late, man. I had a pretty busy morning this morning, so.
No problems at all. Do you have any experience building machines, or?
A little bit, not from the ground up. Not from the ground up. I mean, you know, I knew how to cut springs and stuff like that, and you know, mess around with an armature bar and stuff like that. You know, some of the geometry on the framework, but nothing like what you've been sharing with us, man. So that's one of the things I was telling Gabe earlier. was that this is an incredible thing that you're doing. You know what I mean? Like sharing this information with us, dude. It's an awesome experience.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
It feels good just to give back. You know, I spent a lot of time building machines in the early 2000s. I was really heavy in it. The coil game, and then the rotaries hit, and a couple things happened there, and it just knocked me off of my square, and I backed out for a few years.
Yeah.
Gabe reached out to me and brought me back in and just re-sparked it. I thought, I mean, I never thought coils would die out, but it did take a back seat for a minute. It's kind of cyclical, I guess. It's come forward front again, and I appreciate that you guys enjoy it. You know, I don't think it's something that we need as an industry that we should turn our backs to. It should always be there because this is where it started, you know, the doorbells.
Yeah, agreed.
What we do, it's in our bloods, that sound. Like, I can't, it's the generation I grew up in. Like, you know, I walked into some of these new conventions and there's no music, there's no buzz. It like loses something for me. So
yeah,
it's cool to be able to see y'all rallying around and appreciating it. You know, it feels good, and it makes me want to continue down my path in a different journey. So thank you for everything. I appreciate it.
Yeah, man. You know, that you're welcome, dude. And that's cool as hell that you're talking about that, because I was just mentioning that to a couple of people that I met here on the forum. Is there's something that I miss about that noise. You know what I mean? And there's something that's it's pretty magical, dude. Like just that buzzing noise and the smell of green soap in the air, and like you said, man, the music and stuff. You know what I mean? Like there's a time and place, dude. You know, and it's kind of one of those things where it's unfortunate for a lot of the new dudes coming in that they didn't get to experience. And I think you're right, where you know, I've always been able to take a machine apart, put it back together, what's there, and then make it run the right way. And it's one of the things that I've always taught to people that I helped learn how to tattoo too. You know what I mean? Like this is the basic foundation right here. This is what makes it all happen. You have to understand that. And some of the people never thought about it, and then they came to appreciate it that much more because of it. You know, and that's some fucking awesome thing, man. And you know, and like you're talking about making things with your hands, dude. It's that's one of the things I've always told my kids too. Like once you learn to do something like that, a craft, nobody will ever be able to take that away from you. You know, and the fact that you shared that and let people learn how to do it is fucking radical, dude. Radical.
Thank
so,
you.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I shared in one of the segments. My father told me, he's like, as long as you can work with your hands, you'll be able to eat.
Yep.
He gave me the tools indirectly on how to do this. You know, my dad, he was a cement mason. He was a carpenter. He's a jack of all trades, but he taught himself all this stuff. So he kind of passed that down. So I think you're spot on telling your kids that, handing that information over to them. Yeah. I agree 100% on that. Yeah,
man. It's something that's getting kind of lost in our world now. You know, like everything's so convenient. You know what I mean? And there's a bit of a you know, of a benefit to that, but at the same time, you know, we're getting lost in the fact that builds a confidence in you too. You know, like being able to make something by yourself when you look around at the shit that's laying around you and how do I make this work? You know what I mean? There's invention and dedication in that too, you know? So yeah, dude, I agree with you.
Yeah, getting those wheels grinding, innovation, expanding your mind, looking at things in different lights. Yeah, for sure.
That's cool. Where are you at? Where are you from?
I'm in Pittsburgh.
Okay. Cool, man.
Yeah,
I'm in go ahead.
No, I'm good. I just said born and raised here.
Oh, right on. Did you get to travel a lot?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, I used to do about 13 to 18 conventions a year for a lot of years.
Wow.
A lot.
Damn. That's crazy, man.
You ever heard of Mike Skyver?
No, I haven't.
He used to have a museum. He was from about an hour and 15 minutes away from Pittsburgh, and Mike took me under his wing in the mid 90s when I started to build tattoo machines.
Okay.
And Mike he had one of the largest museums aside from Lyle Tuttle at that time in the United States. And he let me travel with him everywhere. He took me some places, and not to segue out of this, but I have a funny story about one of the first conventions that he took me to in the early 90s. It was Detroit. And he's like, come on up to Detroit. You could sell some of your machines in my booth. We'll split the booth, pay me whatever. So we get up to Detroit, and this is the first show I had done since like 92. And he's like, yeah, we're right next to Guy Aitchison right there. Now, I grew up a really big Guy Aitchison fan and Aaron Kane fan. It shows in a lot of things that I do.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, when he said that, my stomach hit the floor, and I was just like, Mike, I can't be next to Guy Aitchison. I'm just not on that level, dude.
Yeah.
It was just, it was a funny experience. Not to get away from what we were talking about, but it just brought back a memory.
No, that's cool, man.
But it's come full circle now.
Yeah.
Took 25 years, but it's full circle.
It flies by, doesn't it?
It does.
It's
does.
incredible.
And sitting here, and I keep looking into this camera at myself, and I'm like, damn, how did I get so old? Because I still feel like I'm 15. Seriously, like I got gray hair now. I'm like, no, I'm only 25 still. Yeah.
Yeah. It's so crazy, isn't it, man? Like I do the same thing. I see all the grays popping up in my hair, man. I'm like, I gotta shave my head again. Yeah. What the fuck, dude? Like, I don't feel like I'm 43. You know what I mean? I feel like you said, dude, I feel like I'm still in my 20s and shit. So,
well,
I guess. Yeah.
So the lifestyle we live that we've been blessed with, it's not. I don't know. It's enlightening for the most part. So it keeps you young at heart.
Yeah, dude, it really does, man. I have a lot of clientele that, I'm fortunate enough to be able to tattoo them, and I feel blessed as well. And because when I hear them talk about their jobs sometimes, dude, and they're fucking miserable. You know what I mean? They hate it, and it makes me appreciate what I do that much more, dude. Like these guys are just biding their time until they get their pension at like 60 something. You know what I mean? It's like, dude, you're missing a whole lot of life in that process, man.
Yeah,
but we definitely have the best job in the world.
Absolutely. Yeah.
One of them for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe on that note, I'll relate something that I was talking about with one of the tattooers, and then we thank everybody. Tony could close it out, but we were just talking about the resilience of tattooing and tattooers, and it was like, clearly you could build a machine by hand. But even if the power went, I guess I was talking about how the COVID situation helps this internet thing, right? So now all of a sudden everyone's forced to come into the digital world. It's not just geeks anymore. And but then I was like, I personally fared pretty well through this, but like the next traumatic world event, like when the internet goes down for fucking 2 months, then I'd be pretty fucked. Right, because like I'm all internet all the time, right? So when it's not a question of if, like when that happens eventually at some point, because it's just a matter of time. I'm gonna be fucked. But tattooers, man, you don't even need power. You could like assemble this shit, like, and they used to, right? Some of the archaeologist programming that we have coming up, we're looking at like the ancient mummies that are tattooed and stuff. And if you show your clients a good tattoo experience, they'll come back with their friends, whether you even have power or not. It's probably the most enabling craft that could possibly exist, right? It's amazing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, if that ever happens, then we'll just we'll find a rally point and we'll get together and we'll whittle some sticks and tattoo each other. We'll find out.
Hell yeah. Count me in.
Yeah, man. We are blessed to be able to do what we do, Gabe. That is for sure. I get to scribble on people every day for cash and prizes. Like, this is the best game show ever, man. I love it.
Yeah. Come on down.
Come on down. What do you want? Come on down.
Yeah, you got it.
Awesome. Well, thanks, everybody. I'm going to spotlight Tony, let him close out the show. And then I've got 2 videos I'm going to play, one for the Equinox Festival and the other for the Drunk Critique. That's tonight. And everyone is encouraged to send their tattoo pictures to geta@drunkcritique.com. But here, let me get Tony on here, and oh, I just removed the spotlight, not putting it on here. Spotlight for everybody. Here we go.
Spotlighted my junk. Hey, thanks. I'd like to thank everybody for joining us today and sharing their stories and showing their machines. And we will be, when is it? March 17th. We'll be having an interview with Greg DiGiacinto from Veritas. Hopefully we'll see you there. Thanks, Guy. Thanks, Gabe. This has been an amazing experience building these machines, and I'm fortunate to have spent some quality time with a lot of you great artists. So thank you. Hope to see you again soon.
Awesome. And then I will do the full on, you want to go to reinventingthetattoo.com/build a tattoo machine. And all the webinar replays are there. And we will, if you have any questions or comments, you can just let us know right in the course, and we will get emails about it and all that. And awesome. Thanks again, everybody. And these are the 2 videos. Here we go.
Oh, I lost my
Is that
sound.
a floss? Were you flossing just now?
Yeah, it's floss. Lost the music.
Why is the sound up?
I knew my old age was catching up, man. I can't hear anything.
Per usual, guest drunk critiquers include Avad, Sean Barber, Jen Little, and Thea Duskin. And well, anyways, that's so that I don't know if the sound was on there, but it is drunk critique, so I guess it's not supposed to be all that great. Anyways, at drunkcritique.com. Bob Tyrell and Tony Rommel. Yeah, Bob Tyrell, Tony Rommel are going to be co-hosting. We've got Ivana, Sean Barber, Thea Duskin, Jen Little, and all sorts of surprise guests. So yeah, awesome. We'll catch up, everybody. I guess while we have everybody here, wave, smile.